Mr. Gospel Mvula is a 35-year-old man in Bala section in the Chikangawa Extension Planning Area in Mazimba South District, northern Malawi. He has been a farmer since 2009. He is married to Elizabeth Tiyeni and they have 3 children. He was struggling to make ends meet because the maize yield from his land would not last the whole season. The soil was so infertile that he had abandoned some of it. He was harvesting just 660 to 1,100 pounds of maize from 2 pieces of land, amounting to 2 acres. For as much as 6 months every year, Gospel worked as a seasonal laborer in the Chikangawa forest, but he still did not have enough income to feed his family, which costs around $50 per month in Malawi. In the 2016 and 17 season, he and his fellow farmers were fortunate to see deep-bed farming in Matuli Nsipazi and neighboring areas into the Mcizini Extension Planning Area. They were very impressed with the method and its resultant yields. They approached Tiyeni through one of our excellent field officers, Love Masika, and she introduced deep-bed farming into the Bala community in 2017 and 18. Gospel was one of those that tried deep-bed farming on a 1/4 acre of land and was nominated as lead farmer for one of the 3 farmer clubs formed in Bala that year. The yield was so impressive that in 2018 and 19 he started redeeming land, which he had virtually abandoned due to degradation, by converting it to deep-bed farming. At the next harvest, an extraordinary increase in maize yields was found, rising from about 800 pounds to over 5,500 pounds. Such a dramatic multiplication of yields is achieved because land is so badly degraded that yields are often as low as 260 pounds per acre, or in the worst cases, 0. What is more interesting than these anecdotal yield multiples is the average yield multiples. We found that on average in 2019, yields increased by 146%, or nearly 2.5 times for those farms that converted from traditional methods to deep-bed farming. Mr. Mvula has used deep-bed farming for 3 years and has now converted all his land to deep-bed farming. He is now embarking on regenerating the adjacent abandoned degraded land with deep-bed farming. Mr. Mvula was presented with a pig from Tiyeni's Livestock Passed On project to help farmers make quality manure and to improve livelihoods from selling animals as they multiply. He has now been able to make quality manure all year round, greatly improving the vegetative growth of maize and other crops. He is taking good care of the pig and expects to grow into a livestock entrepreneur by raising several pigs for manure and selling. He also passes on some of each litter to other deep-bed farmers. By adopting deep-bed farming, his land has been regenerated to become fully productive again. In addition, he has halved the amount of artificial fertilizer, reducing the input cost. His farming profits have risen dramatically, growing surpluses which can be sold at market every year. His wife, Elizabeth Tiyeni, is very happy to have adopted deep-bed farming. This has increased the yields of maize, beans, soybeans, and groundnuts, and doubled or tripled the yields from their different legume crops, with over 330 pounds of beans harvested in 2020, grown intercropped with the maize. She said in 2020 their family had more than enough maize and sold about 3,300 pounds for cash income. She began growing tomatoes on 0.2 acres in 2020 with deep beds, which is earning the family an extra $13 per week at a time of year when they need it most. She expects this new harvest to bring an income of at least $125 extra this year. The family is now investing in assets that they only dreamt of before. A garlic harvest of 2,900 pounds in 2020 earned the Mvula family an extra $2,000, which enabled them to purchase a motorbike. This, in turn, means that they have transport to take their surpluses to market, further increasing the potential of their farm to transform their livelihoods. With Tiyeni's input through a microloan, Gospel purchased 2 water wells. Thanks to this, he now helps over 15 other local families to access clean, reliable water. Each family pays Gospel a small fee for access to the well, earning him another $19 per month, which he invests back into the well repayment. The community says Mansi Ndi Moyo, which means water is life, and these wells provide safe drinking water, protecting the community from waterborne diseases. Time is saved that would previously have been spent walking up to 2.5 miles to collect water from a distant borehole. Even when reached, the borehole could run out of water during dry spells, yielding only 15 pails or about 80 gallons at a time. and requiring women to sit and wait for hours for it to refill. Thanks to these sustainable changes, the family has been able to save over $1,000 for the security of their future. Elizabeth says their life has been transformed from poverty and chronic shortage of maize to food security and a happy family with deep bed farming. All this is due to the regeneration of the soils in their fields.